All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We got it now. Okay. Something went on. We do not know, but it's okay. It's here now. So that's perfect. All right. We just want to say good evening, everybody. How are you? Also, we want to go ahead and say good evening because guess what? How do you like daylight saving times? Daylight savings times, daylight savings times, daylight savings time. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and begin. We're going to begin tonight going over a few things. First of all, it's the 10 biggest mistakes business owners make. The 10 biggest mistakes business owners make in building their business credit. One of the things you want to begin to understand is procrastination. Procrastination is the killer of dreams. Remember, procrastination is the killer of dreams. Grab your pen, pad, paper, because I'm gonna fly through this tonight. And on top of that, we're gonna go ahead and have some other areas to go ahead and let you see as well. One of the things we want to make you aware of is that we are actually doing, let's see, it was not here. All right, well, I know you can see the screen, so that's a good thing. So I just, again, something about the cam. I'm not really sure about the cam, so we'll go ahead and leave that as is. So, all right, and also another thing, the other real stream I'm streaming on. Something is an amiss with that. So what I'm going to do is just take a few minutes to go ahead and go over a few things with you to make you aware of some things to actually let you know that what are the 10 biggest mistakes. Just want to take a few minutes to kind of go over some things with you so you understand what we're talking about. Because even before you can think about submitting your business for a business loan applications, all right, and also have it different than anybody else's, which means it's fully complete. Also, another thing is that what a lot of people don't do they don't like to read, all right? People don't like to read, but yet they do like money. People don't like to read, but yet they do like money. It goes hand in hand. You must understand when you're reading stuff for your business, it's a business application that you're reading for, all right? Here's the thing. When you pick up and call us, we're going to ask you a lot of different things. It doesn't matter what program it is. We're still going to ask you some things that are prevalent to the business that you're in. So one of the things you want to begin to understand for yourself is that when you're building your business, you're looking at something that we look at stuff more in a detailed way that you don't have eyes on. So one of the things we want to make you aware of is that the most important thing for you is to realize that all the things that you're looking for to build, we're here to make sure you do an expert job on it. Here's the thing. Our batting average has been over about a 98% on all general applications, from just your business credit, trade credit, vendor credit, and your cash credit. Cash credit does not exclude. Everyone thinks this cash credit is as credit lines. Yes, that's cash credit. Business loans, we don't like business loans, so we don't really push them too much, but we push them if it's going to benefit you for a one-time process. So let's say they're going to give your company $90,000 and it's a loan, business loan. Don't use it, take it, because they're already going to give it to you. And then that first week, just pay it back where it says paid as agreed. That's it. I'm sorry that might sound like a crazy idea, but why would you want a loan that's you're going to have to pay weekly and always have to worry about it? No, we don't want you to do that. A credit line's different because you can always have the credit line even though you're using it. Another thing is you want to begin to realize is that one of the biggest mistakes, the 10 biggest mistakes business owners make when applying for business credit is you got to keep the following in mind, and that is when you are finishing and finish reading, you'll be armed with what to do tonight. I mean, you'll be armed what to do when your application, when you actually should read the application first before you fill it out. One thing you want to begin to understand is tonight when I go over some things with you, you're going to have some ammunition that you know already that you'll have so you can go ahead and see these things. See, one of the most important things you want to begin to understand and remember is this. Like I've said before, and a lot of our trainers have said, before the business loan application, and approval process. It's not rocket scientist. It is a formula, but it's not rocket scientist. There are a lot of moving parts and steps that need to be taken, and should you miss even one, you will not be funded. I mean, it's that simple. I've had let's see, had some lady in Los Angeles, some gentleman in Arizona, and in the beginning we have someone in Minnesota. Now they're in this; those three are in the last loop of the CFO program, and a lot of them already. I talked to some already this week. Friday was a big. I had to put a lot of stuff together. Saturday, and then Sunday I spoke to. I have one more left to speak to this week. And here's one thing: a lot of there's things they need things to hit. There's points, but also another thing is this: is that I'm proud to say our company's always assisted them in seeing how do we get stuff matched up for them so they can still acquire what they need. We'll step in and assist them to go ahead, and if there's numbers that need to be met, we will step in sometimes and assist in those. You know, because the thing is, it's a good program and we know they'll be successful at it. That's one of the reasons why we'll step in. So another thing is this: you want to keep in mind about the 10 biggest mistakes when applying for business credit. All right, and now this is not going to be a complete and detailing either. So it's not going to be that long time. So you don't have to worry about that either. This is just to kind of give you some of the information so you know what's going on. And then also, as we kind of review tonight the 10 biggest mistakes, please consider another very important fact is this: the information only can be used when it's used, and it can only be used when it has been fully digested and internalized. When you don't have to think about it, there are 4 stages of a person that goes through when they're learning a new information. The first stage is unconscious incompetence. The first stage is unconscious incompetence. This is a stage where you don't know that you don't know. But a lot of you try to do this. I don't know who you're trying to impress. As coaches and mentors, we don't care. We go through this ourselves daily. The higher you climb, the more you find out what you don't know that you don't know. And that's like a lot of problem for people. A lot of you are that are in the Millionaires in the Making, the mentor of the Millionaires Club, also the mind mapping area, and also the ones that have done the power format of adding quality. How do you put it? Quality items to your business. But one thing you want to begin to understand, the information can only be useful. See, a lot of you think it's just putting an application together, put a corporation together. That's what they all lead you to believe. But you hit a point. I'm going to say this, and some people get offended, but any monkey, any person that's, I don't care if you have challenges in life with addictions, like alcohol or drugs. I don't care if you have those things. They can do this part building their business credit. They can follow instructions. Start a corporation, but then it gets to a point, well, what do I do next? And then as you try to figure it out, or people try to, whatever they do, you understand the stage of the unconscious incompetence is the stage where you don't know that you don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just kind of nature of the beast. But everyone wants to try to hide. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Man, I don't care how many YouTubes you listen to. There's nothing like getting in the battlefield and getting hit and getting dirty. You got to get off the bench and get on the court. You're going to have to get a nosebleed. You're going to have to be scared. You're going to have to be a whiny baby. You're going to have to be all complain. Oh, well, God, I can't do this. You're going to go through all those things, you guys. But you really think, do you really think for a moment that a great, who was called the greatest person of all time in football for passing? The GOAT, all right? Do you think he looked at YouTube videos? Oh, I could throw a football. Yeah, I'm sorry. Until you get in the field and get hit, and then having like all these big, I guess, linebackers coming at you, weighing a minimum of 300 pounds, and you're like maybe a maybe 225, 250 maybe, and then getting hit by a refrigerator. Holy moly! A lot of you think you really can go to YouTube and then you listen to stuff they don't even give you directions on. Oh my God. This is one thing, the reason why I talked about when I had my training 2 weeks ago now, almost, is that's a lot of biggest thing was unconscious incompetence in the stages where the CFOs of your, because you are a CFO of your business. A person that starts a business has all hats, unfortunately. And then to scale your business is a whole nother kind of conversation. But here, stage one is, again, unconscious incompetence. This is a stage where you don't know what you don't know. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's why you have coaches to guide you. A lot of you think, well, my coach is not telling me the right thing. I'm going to go on YouTube. Oh my God, come on. That's like trying to go on YouTube to become a heart surgeon. Give me a break. All right, stage two. Stage two of the process that most people, about digesting, is conscious incompetence. This is the stage where you realize that you don't know. And that's a good thing. First, it's kind of like, you're like a little child running around. Oh my God. Like a 6-year-old, you stand in front of a bus. The lights are so pretty and and then all of a sudden now, as you grow up in the business, I don't care if you're 50, 60, 40, 30, whatever age you are, you're going to go through this whole process. And a lot of people think I should know. No, you should know, because it was never in the view of your life until one day you decide to build business credit, and then you decided. Even those of you that even built past businesses and had business credit, you still, this whole game, that you've never learned the real game of what it's really going to take. This unconscious incompetence is the stage where you realize that you don't know. Now that's where most people really start freaking out, because in the beginning they're like this little 5, 6-year-old standing in front of this big bus coming at them with his big old headlights, and pretty lights, and all of a sudden they get bam, and then they go, oh man, this business credit doesn't work. Oh man, this is too hard. Or as you go and grow into the business, the more you grow, there's other places you still don't know. You know the other stuff below you, that will give you, that foundation will always have a success for you. Because you can always go back to the foundation if you get off track or something, for some of you. But some of you get growing into another area in life and business, and other opportunities that gives you begin to panic. Why? This is where you got to understand. Let me ask you, how do you think right now if Amazon was going to hire you, each and every one of you, as a CFO this very moment, what do you think they're going to expect of you? Are they think you're going to say you can't do it? Are they going to think you're going to say I don't understand? Do you think they're going to buy any excuses, but yet you'll buy them yourself? You won't buy them from anybody else, but you'll buy your own excuses. Why are you buying what you're selling yourself? This is crazy. So what you don't know that you don't know? I love not knowing that I don't know. Why? Because that means I got something else exciting to learn. So now that is the second stage. Let's go to the third stage. Ooh-wee, gotta go. All right, the third stage. Now the third stage is conscious competence. This is where, when you know that you know, but you have to consciously think it through, carefully and seriously consider calling an expert. Who's done it before? There's a lot of things. The only reason why I know what I know is because I've been through it. And I've also, it's like this. If I know that I don't know how to fly a jet, a 747 or a 770, whatever, they got those big numbers now. How would I learn how to fly one now? I would have to go to a training school to learn how to fly one. And then I would have to spend a lot of hours to get past the first stage of incompetence, the second stage of now I know what I don't know how to do the turns yet, to a place, okay, experts now is training me, read this, come back and practice what you read. See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like even doing divisions, building CFOs is the one most exciting part of the business. But that's only done at a particular time with people that we know that won't misuse it, because it could be misused in a way that it causes people problems. And then people start whining and crying and say, well, Dave, show me. Because you did it wrong. I mean, wrong means you did it while it was going to hurt somebody and you knew where you were doing it. Because this particular program, you cannot say you don't know, because you'll know what you're doing. And a lot of people get tempted because there's some huge perks that go with it. And if you don't handle it right, you could get yourself in a ringer. Then you want to point to everybody else. Well, they told me that I could run the red light. No one's ever going to tell. Even in driving school, one time I used to be in driving school where I taught people to go ahead and drive. I never told them to run a yellow light. That's one thing I always asked them when they got done. Did I tell you to run a yellow light? No. Are you ever going to run a yellow light? No. Good. I mean, I'll run the yellow light myself, but I'm not going to have a student trained that way, because I know when and roughly how to run a yellow light. So I'm still at risk, but not as a high risk of someone brand new that doesn't have certain things down and a pattern down. So it's the same thing when you're building your business credit. You go through these particular stages, and if you can't accept the morass of the mess it's going to be, it's like belonging in a family that you have all these different people. You have these crazy people. You have the crazy uncle. You have the perfect grandfather that everybody loves and likes, that knows in town. You have now, cousins that are like 18. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do with their life. You have the cousins, the girls that, they're giggling because they like these boys and they're 21. I mean, you have all these different things. Then you have the ones that, that are the always talk, chatty Cathys, and so every time you get around, it's like, oh my God, what a mess. That mess, if you can't accept that kind of mess in building your business, it'll cause you a lot of emotional strain. It'll just bend you out of shape because you think it's supposed to go a certain way. No, it's not. It goes the way it goes. But once you know the foundation and the stages, you begin to go ahead and fly through them, because you realize now you become more of a person that doesn't have to think about things. Here's the fourth thing. The fourth stage of unconscious competence is then when you become through the process and were successful. It is now second nature. This is when the information is part of you. This is when you know just as easily as you know your own name. This is when it is fully internalized and become automatic. Becomes what? Automatic. 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 When you first read and digest the 10 biggest mistakes when applying for your business funding afterward, you learn the step-by-step business loan application process that will outline and teach you. You will go through the first 3 stages when you become engaged with us. We let you sometimes put on the life preserver vest first, and then we kind of let you swim a little bit. Not sink, but swim. You've got to give yourself, oh, I did it, because some people call all excited, I did it. Man, I had an 80-year-old woman call me, tell me I did it, and I was so excited for her. Yes, you heard me, 80. All right. And to go through the process step by step with us over a period of time, you will reach the 4th stage. A lot of you think you're going to do this overnight. Yes, you're going to get the basics down. You're going to do the beginning. You're going to do all the other stuff. But again, when you reach the 4th stage, and when you do, the world is your oyster. Here's those of you now that have business credit, those who have over $500,000 now, you begin to realize, man, there's a lot of worldly oysters here. But you'll never again be turned down for a business line of credit or any other business loan for that matter. That is our goal. So let's get started on your journey for the moment on what we're looking for, what we're doing, and also of what it takes to go ahead and what are the biggest 10 mistakes. The biggest 10 mistakes that most people make in building their business credit is not a bad thing, but it's just kind of like what we do. So here we go. One of the first mistakes that happens is this: 10 biggest mistakes business owners make when applying for business credit. Now, a lot of you say, "Well, I'm a CFO, or I'm not built. I got $500,000. I got $1 million. I got." We have someone. Let's see where they're at. Well, they're in the other group room. That has over. They have 8. I'm gonna pull a file. It's got a lot of them. All right, let's see. They have $9.8 million and some change. This young lady has been doing this for 19 months. And now she's going to be in a program I'll show you here in a bit. But every day, she emailed me every day. And then she emailed her coach, text the coach 3 or 4 times a day. But one thing you want to begin to remember is this. They built that because they realized they were incompetent, so they are kept, you keep coming back, okay, what do we do? Of course, we have our classes on a weekly basis for those people. What do I think? Next thing. And even I had someone say, hey, do I need to go ahead and get a website? Yes. Okay. Oh, that's right. You did tell me. I mean, it's just the unconscious incompetence. It's okay. We laugh because the fact is we all laugh because I laugh a lot more because I know I'm going to go through more of it, because as I begin to do other projects sometimes, I know a lot about the projects, but now it's how to go ahead and scale and implement it so everyone is a winner in it. So the next one is, here you go. 1, not being incorporated. Did you know that you can go ahead to ban online decisions and grant larger loan amounts, all right, in the business part of it? It is true. Not being incorporated, you can go ahead and just lose your decision on getting a larger loan amount for your business. It's true. Many small business owners operate their day-to-day business under a DBA or doing business as, well, this is a fast and simple file which your local county recorder lender considers business operated under this structure as a small, not only, but small business. Not only does this limit the amount of funding, but operated under a DBA is filed with pearls. But here's the thing. Enough said about this, but remember, it's okay if you have to start the DBA first with a tax ID, DUNS number, but you've got to begin to get yourself out of it within 90 to 6 months tops. See, that's what I call the poor way to start. Nothing wrong with not being incorporated or LLC right off in the beginning, because you want to at least get your websites done and all the stuff that needs to be done. But you can do it. Go down. All you have is, I don't know, let's say $100. Go down to your county recorder's office. Jim Jones, doing business as ABC Inc. All right. Then you get your tax ID number, get your DUNS number. You got to get a telephone number, then your little website, then web email.com and not gmail.com. Okay. It'd be abcinc.gmail.com, and then could be info@abcinc.com, not Gmail. But it's real simple. Then you can start applying for your vendor credit. Just start getting, and then you apply for your Dun & Brad number. You apply for your tax ID number, all that stuff. Open a business account. All that could be done in the first 90 days. But after that, you're going to be willing to spend the money that's going to take. And if it's some states, it's $300, and some states it's like $175, and whatever change there is after that. But you got to remember, not being incorporated is one of the biggest things that'll stop you from getting money. You can't. When I say you cannot, now I've done it, and I did it to show people that you can do a DBA, and I built up a little over $500,000 to it. But it's really hard on the credit lines. They really don't like it. So, anyways, because it's like now there's really no entity other than you, but it has a tax ID number and they know debt follows tax ID, so it won't follow you. So that's why they don't want to give it to you. They'd rather have you be incorporated because, see, a lot of people don't realize this. When you're incorporated and the debt goes bad in the corporation, a lot of people don't realize that the government pays back the people that lost the money in the business from a corporation standpoint, which means like if you happen to be like Granger, Granger says ABC Inc. didn't pay me, Granger can go to the state, to the government and get paid in the way they're supposed to get paid. So a lot of people don't realize that. You got to learn the things. All right. Also, another thing, corporation is too new. What does that mean? Well, let's go over this. Did you know that your loan application will most probably be denied unless your corporation is at least 2 to 3 years old? It's true. I've run into it before. The reason I'm looking down, I'm looking at my watch because I have a time schedule to keep getting on me and go over too much. So anyways, so it's too new. A new corporation signals the bank no experience. Now, while I've heard of businesses being approved for small, like $5,000, business credit cards, on occasions, I've heard of, many more, sad stories and tales that got declined. I've heard many more cases, stories, tales of business loan application being handed their hat and rejection notice. It's crazy. But we advise our clients to, when I say to purchase a seasoned corporation that's at least 3 years plus old, and then when they give us a call, then we go ahead and go over the specifics with them as well. But sometimes even an aged seasoned corporation is not enough. You want something that has aged with some, at least a Dun & Brad and the business experience tax ID with some age behind it, like a 3 years age on it. Even if it's just a Granger account, 3 years on there will be suffice. This is why another thing that we do, we have a one person, that's all it goes through, all the states and looks for companies. One thing about a corporation too, a lot of you do not use this. I have a lot of students that they have a plethora. I have one guy that was in business in 2003, but he goes, well, I just started in 2017 in LLC, but he has a division that started in 2003 that he said, oh, well, it got all jacked up and it got all messed up. Man, I looked it up before I didn't tell him I've ever looked it up, but I looked up the name and I looked up the Dun & Brad. I looked up business experience. There was nothing wrong with that thing. If there was, it went away. When someone tells me, that's why I ask, what's the name of the company? Oh, okay, great. I'll spend the money to go look, especially if one of my students and they're good and they're giving me the sad story. Man, so they were able to go ahead and move. Dun & Brad will accept that because they were attached to it. And so now the LLC gets the 2003 history, even though it was not incorporated, it was turned into an LLC in 2017. There's a lot of benefits behind this. This is what we do for you because a lot of you already have stuff already out there, and we just got to make sure it's not dirty. If so, there's a way to clean it up. Now, people don't want to pay to clean it up. Well, then that's tough luck. Then go find one. All I want to let you know, nothing. It's always, if you want things done, it's going to cost you. I'm going to be straight up with you. It's going to cost you because guess what? Find how many people know how to clean up a Dun & Brad. Go YouTube it. Yes, YouTube it, and then see what instructions they give you. And then follow the instructions they give you, and then all of a sudden you still hit a door. Why is that? Huh, interesting. So anyways, that's what we want to say for the second one. Now the next one that's number 2. Number 3 is your corporation is suspended. Uh-oh. Nothing wrong with being suspended, but let me tell you what happens to suspensions. Now, let me tell you first about suspension. The corporation suspended. You verify your corporation is in good standing. That's the first thing you want to do, right? We had, again, someone else that had something that was suspended, and they just repaid the fees, and good as gold. All right? And also, make sure it has, now they say this. Make sure it hasn't been suspended for longer than 6 months. All right. You might say, why? That's a good question. But before I answer that, make certain your registered agent fees and your state franchise tax fees, if any, are paid and are in good standing. Okay. Your potential lenders will verify the status of your corporation or your LLC right out the gate. Now, when they ever ask you to upload documents like bank statements, you need to upload your bank statements with your articles of incorporation with your good standing letter. If it's an LLC, you need to send your copy of your current LLC registration and your LLC document. Upload it with it. Why? Because then, right off the rip, they'll look at, oh, okay, great. And then sometimes they'll just not even look. Sometimes they'll look, but at least you got that, and they can't come back to you and say, well, we couldn't verify. They do a lot of that nonsense. So one of the, like I said, they're going to go ahead and look it up right out the gate. So if your status is right, no problem. It will immediately reject your loan application if it is. But here's another thing. I'm going to tell you straight up, and I'm not going to tell you what business it was because I'm not going to have you all flood over there. But it was someone that you have lumber with and other materials you have there. I did a company that was suspended for 12 years. Used the same tax ID and the DUNS number. And at that time, the person for the MasterCard, no personal guarantee, received $25,000 on the spot. Now, there's a way to do it, and there's ways to have things done. And this was class when I used to do the live ones. A lot of stuff that I used to do live, I don't do a lot on the Zoom or the other one because you can't get into the really depths of the mechanic because you're at home, you're being disturbed, and I don't really like anyone when they're working stuff like this. Even right now in your webinar, you have stuff going on. You have someone behind you. Hey, what's that mean? Hey, whatever it is. Your phone's ringing, talking to your girlfriend, boyfriend, lover, whatever. At least at a seminar, I can have you for 12 hours a day, 3 days. See, this is where you really get depth into it. And I'm just, like I said, I really haven't, people have been hitting me up to have them do it. And I'm still not sure yet. But anyways, so you want to make sure your corporation is not suspended. Now, next thing is corporation is not registered in the state to do business. The corporation is not registered in the state to do business. What do you mean the corporation is not registered in your state to do business? Well, you might have a Nevada corporation, and you're in, Colorado. Well, if you're not registered to do business there, they're not going to give you credit there. Well, let's just do this first before I say that, even though I just said it. Regardless of the state of incorporation, you must register your corporation with your Secretary of State. It's easy and fast and all this other nonsense they tell you. But let me tell you, you want to make sure it's registered in your state. But also, can it get down if it's not? Yes. There's another way to go ahead and do that too. But again, this is a process. I don't have time to tell you, but there is another way. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of ways, but if this is where you go back to the stage one of being unconscious, knowing that you don't know. And then knowing that you don't know that you don't know versus you just totally don't have a clue. And this is why I'm saying that a lot of people don't really break this stuff down. They give you all the simple stuff. Why? If you guys really want to build a business and kick some butt and take no prisoners, you've got to know the strategies and the ones that work. Okay, how about this one? Your IRS 179. Do you all understand you can write off a $60,000 freaking car completely? Do you know how many pounds it has to be over? If your CPA hasn't introduced you to that yet, I'd fire that CPA and tell him what a numbskull. I want to go buy let's say a Range Rover. I'm not saying they're any good, but Range Rover barely meets the weight. There's an exception. You can write that off in your business 100%. Those you right now are doing, if you're independent contractors, if you don't have a vehicle that's brand new under the business credit, with no tax, with no PG, you're cuckoo. You can write that freaking thing off so your money's not going to waste. A lot of you do stuff that are independent and you're spending money and paying money you shouldn't be paying. Because a lot of you are too proud to tell our coaches, well, I'm doing this and that. And man, some of you said you can get a $185,000 line and you don't have to spend it all. Get a car, so what? I mean, there's just some of these things just drive me batty. A lot of you, I like to take certain companies, just let me have it and give me 50% of everything I generate in the business credit. Just give me 50% right off the rip. Absolutely. You kidding? And the 50% is because of my knowledge and what I can get done. You stay out the way. It's just crazy. It just buys me bananas. And I know I have some people probably, I drive bananas, say, man, you could be doing this too. It's okay. Also, another thing, your corporation is not registered in the state, so you've got to remember that, okay? The next one. Let's go to the next one. No brick and mortar business address. All right, now I'm going to, I didn't put it on here tonight. Darn. I'll do it Wednesday. No brick and mortar business address, okay? No brick and mortar business address. No brick and mortar business address. No brick and mortar business address. So many first-time business, all right, business, but they don't have brick and mortar. So the loan application makes this mistake. You must have a physical business address in an established business district. Bank computer programs can immediately identify residential districts and flags your application when you apply for business loan. Is that all true? I'm going to say, hold up a minute. Business loan and your home address, also your home business, sends the lender a small business signal. What does it send a signal to? I don't know yet. I'll tell you in a minute. So home business equates to small time operator here, which will get you a fast loan rejection and best case scenario, a small loan usually under $50,000. Well, let me ask you, I would take 4 times 50,000, wouldn't you? Here's what I'm saying about the residential addresses. People ask us, and there's, again, this goes, and even again, it goes against who the people are speaking to, the ones who actually say this kind of stuff. This one, this is the basics for some people, but I'm going to tell you, I know for a fact. Next week, I'm gonna put it on the slide live to show you the address. This one. It took one of. Once you see it, you're gonna know what to look for. But you can actually get a PO box that doesn't register as a PO box, and it has an address. It'll say Unit 321. It's not even a PMB, whatever you call those things. It's a real address, and you have Kwai Chang Restaurant. Chinese restaurant, and if you think I'm saying Kwai Chang to be funny, no, I'm not. I'm saying for real, the name of the restaurant. I'm not going to tell you what city, what state it's in. I'll tell you the state of California. But anyways, Kwai Chang's restaurant. But then you pull up just the restaurant, you pull up the address, and all of a sudden you have all these other addresses. Doctor's address, real estate address, attorney's address, dentist address, chiropractor address, babies, what do you call it? Child care address. But there's no child care there. It's a real address, and the computers don't pick it up because it's the way that it was registered. Folks, a lot of people don't know, and you can't Google this. You cannot Google this type of stuff. No one, the person, again, the lady that has the $8 million, $9 million, she went on Endeavor because I was telling her it's out there, and I kept explaining to her, and she found another person found one roughly in Minnesota, pretty close. I'm gonna say 99.9. And the reason why I say that is because you're right, Dre. It is crazy. They're out there still. Remember back in the day, Dre? Remember back at the Phoenix seminar? They're still there. 12 years ago. It's still there, Dre. That's crazy. Hey, by the way, Tina says to say hi. All right, enough of your personal communication now. All right, so now, anyways, the thing is, yeah, they're there, guys. But and you know what? I asked her, how did you find it? What did you do? And she said, you know what? My instincts told me, because the way I looked at it, and the window signage kind of gave it away, because it was kind of like not like the newer ones. I said, great distinction. See, if you don't, and I don't know how she got the distinction, but she pulled in there. So that's enough about that. So yeah, they are out there, and so it's some of it's true, but not true. That's why even the so-called gurus about this, I'll go against them all the time, because I kept this. I kept the Minnesota one. The Minnesota. I'm gonna actually look more in Minnesota myself now, because I have someone else in Minnesota now that just came to me. I'm gonna have them look for one that's dry that way, and it's awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome, and they're out there. And another thing is, the East Coast has more of them than the West Coast. That's why I'm surprised sometimes when people say they can't find them, because you're Googling them. You're not gonna find them in Google. Google does not provide this piece of information. Hate to tell you, Google. Hate to tell you, Google. Because the minute Google does, guess what? Then that'll probably, I don't know. I don't know if it would change or not, but might so. All right, next thing is this. No business telephone number. Not having it listed in 411. Your business telephone number is your biggest thing. Applying for business loan is the biggest thing. Having a 411 listing. If your business is legit, it has a business, you can dial it, boom, 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 anywhere. All right, so make the investment. And on Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Also, another thing, if you can, forward the number to your cell phone wherever you go, or if you have to, at least a couple of days out of the week, have a live answering service to somebody live answering your phone. Now, we have this service here, and then we answer it live for people on the East Coast, because we're in the Central, we're in the Mountain. But anyways, you've got to have that. So here's the thing: if you don't answer the phone live yourself, answer your phone corporate offices, because some of you already have divisions, and the number's going to start ringing to you, and you need to answer your phone. You know, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. Good afternoon or good morning, corporate offices. How may I help you? Hey, hey, John, how's it going there? Susie, how's it going there, John? Blah, blah, blah. Whoa, excuse me. My name's not John. It's corporate office. What company are you looking for? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for ABC. And you're looking for who? John. Hold on a minute. Now, it might be you, John, but that's why you answer the phone real professional. Then it'd be you on the phone. Hey, this is John. How can I help you? I've done it all the time, and trust me, people do not recognize your voice, and they don't care. But the thing is, you're going to start beginning to do that. You've got to make sure you answer your phones, because a lot of people lose credit that way because they don't answer. And this means this. I hate to tell you this. During the COVID, acceptable. But now, no dogs barking in the background. Television's playing. Babies crying in the background. You best have a place, when you answer the phone, that you can tell them it's a dog on the TV if you have to. But that's one thing you need to have. All right? Cool. No business website. Now, some of you are building stuff. Some of you actually aren't. Building stuff means this. If you already have a tax ID and a DUNS number where you're building credit to it, not asking to them to give them a credit card from your business. I'm talking where you're actually applying for credit with an application. By that time, you will have a business website. But a business website at the end all be all of the game will be what you're looking for. All right. So that's it. Today, one of the biggest lending guidelines requires a website. Because the leading underwriter will verify the business applicant as a website. You realize that sometimes the computer will go ahead and verify your website, and they'll approve you based on that information if it matches everything on the application and matches the state. pretty interesting. So this also goes back to where it says doing a DBA as a business. You can do your stuff tight. And I've seen businesses get $250,000 and they work out of their house. That's why I argue with some of those guys. You really got to know what you're doing. So you got to have a business website. See, like this blank, got to have one. All right, now. All right, one of the last things though. No business experience or Dun & Bradstreet. No business experience or Dun & Bradstreet. When you apply for a bank account or traditional line of credit or almost any vendor credit, for that matter, your potential will check your company payment history with Dun & Brad. Screw the guys who try to sell you their paid trade lines. Paid trade lines for Dun & Brad, I've told some of my people, are worthless. Those trade lines are worthless for Dun & Brad. Experian, well worth it. Dun & Brad's not as big as in the areas that they used to be. Here's the thing. You will go ahead and actually do a great work if you know what you're doing. See, here's one thing that we offer. When we offer that, the trade lines are just, you know what? But your business experience trade lines are so important. So important, because that's where all your cash is going to come from. But in other words, here a lot of people want to add business lines to their company, which is goofy if you just incorporate it. Can't do that. Now, if you've been around for 5, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you can do that because there are some places that have them for 2 years. Makes sense. But a lot of things you got to begin to understand is that everything, if you're just brand new and you started and you got your thing today, then it's simple. It really is simple. Get the 7 vendors you need. Real simple. Here's the thing. One thing you want to do about your business is that a lot of people also don't understand this. You realize you can you can do your own self-reporting on your business, but nobody wants to pay for the service. You can take your lease. You can take your cell phone. There's a lot of things you can take and have it. There's a company that will go ahead. We gather the information. We report it to this one company. This company is dedicated by Dun & Brad and Business Experience to report all these items for you every month. Because every month, the reason why you got to pay for the service, they call your landlord. Hey, did they pay their rent on time? Yes, they did. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Boom. They call your cell phone company. Hey, did they pay their rent on time? Yeah. Pay the phone on time? Yes, they did. Boom. I mean, there's so many things out there you guys get gypped on that you don't get any credit for. Now, the reason why I like doing it that way, because you could go to Dun & Brad and say, hey, Dun & Brad, I happen to go ahead and do business with ABC Banana Inc., and I pay them every month on time. Oh, really? Okay, great. We'll sign up for our business credit program. It's $842 million to sign up for the program. Okay, great. We'll call them up. Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Now they call them up. Hey, Banana Inc., I understand that you have Joe Ho from Dover Inc. over here doing business with you. And do they pay on time? Now I'm kind of like fast forwarding the conversation. But anyways, do they pay on time? Oh, yes, they do. Great. By the way, we noticed that you don't have a DUNS number. Would you like to get one? This way you can go ahead and report on these companies. Oh, you paid $840-some million, and if they say, no, we don't want your number. You're not ready. Or we see that you have a forced Dun & Brad number. Does anybody understand what a forced Dun & Brad number is? Of course not. They don't talk about it. And they'll tell you, oh, with a forced Dun & Brad number, we can't do anything. They lied to you. All I'm trying to tell you, folks, we take care of our peeps. That's all I'm going to say. So this is what happens. So there's a way to self-report and get it all done and pay for the service. So what? You rather pay for a service that reports stuff that you can't get reported because they're going to force someone to go ahead and pay to register it? Come on. You wouldn't do it either. Last but not least, here's the big one of all. A lot of you do not have no credit qualified officers, which means you don't have a CFO that has the qualified credit on a company board of directors. I cannot emphasize enough If you want real money loans and lines of credit, someone on your company board of directors must be able to demonstrate financial responsibility to the lenders. That means even if your own business has lent money out. These loan officers know the game better than you or I. And they know the company only as good as the person is who's steering it. The CFO, I don't care if it's your grandma. If she has what's necessary to be done, you will get as much credit as you want. All lenders want to see someone on your board of directors and able to personally sometimes, it's like this. All lenders want to see a CFO on your board of directors, which they call CFO, who has a mid-FICO score of the 700s. And here's one of the things that I have not introduced to who the lenders are. Remember I told you, some of you in the beginning that started with us, that if you had the personal guarantee credit lines or credit cards, I would shoot you if you ever personal guarantee any kind of trade 30-day nets other than the MasterCards that you get at the gas stations. No. Don't personal guarantee those. I'm talking about those you don't have the personal guarantee. But if it comes down to personal guarantee of $5 million or more, I would say yes. But I told you, some of you, that if you personal guaranteed, even the gas card is a MasterCard. That's what I'm talking about. But I want to let you know other thing. But anyways, here you go. Those things I told you that you could be out within 12 to 18 months. Remember I said to you that. If I ever told you go ahead and do that, that's because I know you can get out of it. And this is why I say the person that's your CFO must be willing and able to personal guarantee the loans made to the company for at least the first 12 months. And then you will kick them out or kick them off that credit line. That's the reason why we say their personal score has to be top notch. Because sometimes you might have the personal guarantee for 12 months. Who cares? After 12 months, it's over with. And there's several factors that go on to personal report and so on and so on. So there's a lot of things that do happen, but all we want to say is that when you have a very well qualified CFO who will be on your board as a negotiating percentage of the help of the company and funding, you will get ahead quickly. And these CFOs must understand they'll be under direction of being coached by sometimes by our coaches. And that's why you have them calling me when we schedule a call and so on. So that's why I'm saying that a lot of these things makes a big difference. And these are the 10 biggest mistakes that a lot of businesses make, or they don't have a qualified CFO as themselves. So like, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's the reason why as a CFO builds, here's another thing. You'll have a CFO build something for you, and then some of the stuff you as a founder will be building the trade credit, vendor credit, business credit, while your CFO's building cash credit. But also your credit cards can be moved to the divisions. Also, you will learn how to daisy chain the credit cards you get. This is especially the American Express card. I keep telling you about those cards. These are the things you'll be learning and doing with your company, but you've got to understand the structure. One of the things we have now, this is the first time I've ever advertised this, because after this I have there's 22 CFOs I have on our thing now. They're going to start, not the last 3 because they're going to be trained, is that the other ones are going to be now working with CFOs for other businesses. Well, what if you were a CFO for your business, or someone else came to your business? Right now, if you're a CFO, we have some businesses that are very well organized and not just beginning stages. They get paid in between $5K to $100K annually. And they use their work-life experience and good credit to work for them. And the candidates average about, here's the thing, they have proxies that actually work about 20 hours to 25 hours a week, where the CFOs only work 1 hour weekly, and they get paid anywhere between 5 to $100K per year. And I happen to be a proxy. What a goofball. But not really, because I also get to train on some other products that make a big difference about how to create the CFOs. But the CFOs must be a U.S. citizen. They must demonstrate strong credit management skills as reflected by personal credit scores and 700 scores on all three bureaus. So a lot of people don't realize this is one of the best programs out there. But the bottom line is that you must begin to understand, for even some of those that might have the great credit, there's little things that need to be tweaked to be done. But other than that, man, you're rolling. You're rolling. In fact, the day, about 3 days after you sign up business days, you either get 5 or 10K up front for just signing on. And then for that, you have a proxy that does all the work for you in about 1 hour weekly, because there's some stuff the proxy is going to send to you overnight to you. Then they sign these things and they overnight them back to all the originals, and then you do what you got to do with them. Boom, they're done. But I like it because I'm able to teach this program how I teach people how to build their thing. So we need CFO partners. There's bonuses when you sign on, like I told you about, and anywhere, and there's more money you make on the side, so on and so on. But another thing I want to let you know, here you can come to us. Is your corporation ready for funding? Ask for underwriting evaluation. Call us now at 855-886-7355. Now, if you call now, you're going to get an operator. You can leave the number with them or leave it on the information, or call in the morning after 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So all I want to say, ask for the CFO program and Credit Business Builder. I want to say thank you very much for holding on. Yes, I'm running a little late because sorry about that. So most of all, good luck. Have a good evening. And remember this. Be the great thing. Remember, it's okay not to be aware of what you're doing. Just start and get going. That's the first thing. So we're looking forward to working with you. We'll see you Wednesday. And Wednesday, I'll show you that place. I'll show the 2 places that have the kind of P.O. boxes that you're looking for, because they're not P.O. boxes, because they're not registered as that. All right. You just want to say good night, good luck, and most of all, remember this. You guys do make a difference.